Today, I will recap a romantic drama film titled Never Gone. The movie starts with Soo Yeon-jin, a poor girl from the suburbs. She is a beautiful, quiet, and polite girl. This year, she graduated from junior high school and enrolled in a privileged secondary school to continue her studies. Despite her parents' financial struggles, they saved money for a long time so she could attend her favorite school. On her first day, she seemed different from the other students, simple and somewhat confused. She witnessed a student driving his motorcycle recklessly, splashing water on her. The young man, Shin Jeong, comes from a wealthy family and is admired by his classmates. Yeonjin scolded him angrily, but later, she would have been hit by a baseball if Chang hadn't intervened and caught the ball. Instead of apologizing for splashing water on her, Shin Jeong tells her to be careful. As it turns out, they are in the same class, with Yeonjin sitting in front of him. Yeonjin has a close friend named Mo Yuwa, who is also from a working-class background. Yuwa has been a great support to Yeonjin, helping her navigate her new school environment. Unlike Yeonjin, Shane excels in mathematics and gets excellent grades. Yeonjin struggles with understanding math and often goes to the bathroom with a book in her hand. Shane becomes curious about the books she's hiding and suspects her of cheating. He steals her book and accidentally drops her sanitary pack from it. Embarrassed, Yeonjin immediately leaves the class. Shane feels guilty and tries to apologize the next day, but she ignores him. After numerous unsuccessful attempts to please her, he finally threw the book onto our table. When she opened it, she discovered that it contained all the math answers she had been unable to solve, along with detailed explanations of the rules. After class, she was on the roof when he suddenly approached her and grabbed her ear. She was displeased with his behavior and tried to leave, but he stopped her and expressed his desire to help her with math. Initially, she refused his offer, but then she remembered that she needed to prove her good grades to the professor. After careful consideration, she accepted his offer. From that point on, they would always meet on the roof of the building. Over time, she began to enjoy his company, despite his occasional annoying behavior. Eventually, she was able to prove her grades to the professor and scored 85 on the exam, which made her happy. Chang was also happy for her, and their relationship grew stronger day by day. However, she had to leave the school for an extended period of time, leaving Chang lonely and miserable. He lost his desire to continue the lesson and fell asleep during a lecture. When he woke up, he found someone sitting in Yeonjin's seat. Initially unhappy with someone else taking her seat, he soon realized that it was Yu, a close friend of Yeonjin's. Yu informed him that she had returned from her village and was resting in her room. He rushed to her place and called out to her loudly. When she opened the door, sadness was evident on her face. He asked her why she had been gone for so long, but she did not answer. In her right hand, she held a black ribbon, symbolizing her father's death. They were able to make it to the last period of the school year, where everyone attended the graduation ceremony. Shang watched her as she sat with her friend, and he approached her, asking her to dance with him at his farewell party. They later relocated to a place close to the school, where he openly expressed his love for her. In response, she kissed him, a kiss that seemed like a sign of acceptance. However, deep down, it was a farewell kiss, accompanied by tears in her eyes. She believed that their love was not meant to be due to the social class difference between their families. A year later, she became a university student and took up a temporary job on campus to support her tuition fees. It was during this time that she met a boy named Watt, and they grew close, spending most of their time together. One day, Chang and his younger sister unexpectedly arrived in Canvas-shang, and their reunion was filled with mixed emotions. Won interrupted their conversation and introduced himself as Yeonjin's lover. Ching, in turn, claimed to be her lover as well, but clarified that they were just close friends. Chang then took them to a temple, where they each wrote their wishes on a piece of paper. When Yeonjin tried to sneak a peek at what Ching had written, he hastily covered his paper. While Won went with Ching's sister to buy a drink, he witnessed Chang and Yeonjin engaged in a serious conversation. Suddenly, and to Won's surprise, Chang kissed another girl with great intensity. Chang's sister came to comfort him, but this incident strained the relationship between Yeonjin and Won, making their interactions in the library uncomfortable. Frustrated, Yeonjin vented her anger to Chang, expressing how much she had suffered since their graduation and how difficult it had been to find him. She had believed that their kiss at the graduation ceremony signified a lasting love. As she neared the end of her college years, Yunjin quit her part-time job, as her mother requested her to return to the village and seek permission to remarry. Yunjin agreed to her mother's wishes, and upon her return, she encountered Chang sitting near her house. He informed her that he had accompanied his mother, who happened to be working there, as it turned out that she had purchased a factory in the area. They spent some time crafting rabbit lanterns, and later he extended an invitation for her to live in Beijing after she graduated. She nodded slowly in agreement as her graduation approached, and she began sending job applications to numerous companies in Beijing in order to be close to him. However, all her efforts were in vain, as no company in Beijing called her for an interview. Then, she received a recommendation for a company located in Shanghai, to which she applied, and was accepted a few days later. Jane then informs her that he has established a company in Beijing and needs employees, but she informs him that she has already secured a job in Shanghai. This angers him, and she feels guilty, deciding to travel to Beijing by train. However, Shane calls her and informs her that he is on his way to Shanghai to see her, so they agree to meet along the way. She gets off at the next train station and waits for his arrival, and when he arrives, they embrace each other. The two of them finally arrive in Beijing, and he decides to take her shopping for shoes and dresses to wear to his sister's engagement party in the evening. When Yunjin arrives at the party, she is shocked to discover that Chang's sister's fiancé is the one she had a conversation with earlier, where she advised him to take care of his future wife. Days later, after returning to her routine at work, her stepfather visits her office and informs her that her mother has fallen seriously ill. It is also revealed that her father had been working for a company owned by the Chang family, and he embezzled money from a company to cover her mother's medical expenses. This is why her stepfather asks her to help return the company's money. She reaches out to her friends to borrow money, but unfortunately, none of them are able to assist her. With no other choice, she calls someone for help, and he agrees to lend her the money. When Chang learns of her predicament, he comes to her apartment and gives her some money. However, she adamantly refuses and informs him that she borrowed money from Juan instead. Juan, who was angry, questioned why she didn't confide in them instead of someone else. In a fit of rage, he stormed out of her apartment and headed straight to Juan's house. Upon arrival, he threw the money he had brought right in Juan's face, telling him to mind his own business. That night, he went out to the pub with his friends to calm down. Yunjin, his nurse, pleaded with him to come home, but he stubbornly refused. Instead, he hugged another girl to make her jealous. As a result, their relationship became strained once again. Eventually, they decided to separate. He then made the decision to go to America to fulfill his mother's request. Although a year has passed since he left, she has never been able to forget him. Overwhelmed with emotions, she decided to visit the temple they used to go to. There, she stumbled upon the wish records of the visitors. She meticulously searched through paper after paper until she recognized Qing's handwriting. Qing had written a wish, expressing his desire for them to live together. The floodgates opened, and she couldn't help but cry as memories of her past with Shane resurfaced. Finally, she made up her mind to leave for New York to reunite with her boyfriend. Upon her arrival, she began asking people about his whereabouts until she found herself standing in front of the New York hotel. From a close distance, she could see him walking towards his car. However, just as she was about to approach him, she noticed a pregnant woman walking with him, getting into the car together. Overwhelmed with sadness, she couldn't help but cry and chose to walk away. As Crossing's car started to move, he caught a glimpse of her and couldn't help but wonder if this girl was indeed Yunjin or just someone who resembled her. He made the impulsive decision to get out of the car and go after her, but unfortunately, he couldn't find her. Meanwhile, Yunjin stood on top of a school building, reminiscing about the times they spent together. She tightly gripped her hair from behind, contemplating whether someone was looking for him in New York. She remained silent, unwilling to respond. Consequently, he proceeded to display a video clip on his phone, demonstrating that the pregnant woman in question is actually an old friend of his. He further revealed that her husband is someone he knows. Upon witnessing this, she became overwhelmed with emotion and began to cry. In response, he comforted her by offering a warm embrace.